click solver. Okay. Wow, there's already stuff in here? That's not, must be my old one. Okay. So let me just, you never know, things pop up. This is Excel acting weird, so I'm going to go ahead and select it again. I'm going to select the gray cell, okay, and then, yeah, what I ought to do is just delete everything. You see, you can press delete just in case. Okay. And then, it looks like I got the changing cells, but I'm going to just double check that. Okay, so I select these two, the pink ones. Okay. Now I'm going to slowly add. Okay, so the first one I'm going to add again is the gray cell has to be less than or equal to the 10,000. I add that. Then the next one is the changing cells, the quantity I have, has to be what? Greater than or equal to. And again, I'm being lazy. Don't do like me. Do it the right way. One at a time. One cell greater than equal 150. One cell. If I'm selecting the two, greater than equal, I'm going to add that. Then the next one is what? The sum of the carbon, right? Right, these three, right? Has to be what? Less than or equal to. So I got D6 through F6 has to be less than or equal to C12 through C14. So far so good. Then I'm going to add the changing cells have to be integer, right? And then my new one, the last thing I'm going to do is the molding times has to be, which is G6 through H6 has to be less than or equal to C16 through C17. Okay? So I'm going to say okay. And I've got it all there. Okay, now I'm going to solve it. And I get this ugly looking red exclamation point. Cannot find a feasible solution. Solver cannot find a point for which all constraints are satisfied. So it's good to know that there is actually no option. So we say okay. So what's our solution? Well, we already know, don't we? Let's just change, tell the boss, let's just see what happens if we change the constraint from 100 for finishing time to, let's say, 105, okay, just out of curiosity, okay? So I'll just put 105, just out of curiosity, and then I'm just going to go ahead and do solver again, and solve. Yay, we got a solution. Okay. And it ends up being 150, 150. So perfect. But that's not necessarily the answer. The answer is you let the boss tell you what you can do. So we know that the constraint's there. I'm going to flip it back to 100. But actually, yeah, we'll look at this later. Let me actually go to 100 again. And I'm going to solve it again. Now, by the way, because you got this, you might want to, at some point it's going to be more complicated. We already know what the reason is. But because you have this exclamation point and you go, what does that mean? You can click the feasibility report on the upper right corner, say OK, and suddenly it generates a report tab right next to your spreadsheet. If I click that, I get this. And it's just telling what we already know, which is the cell on total finishing time is less than or equal to the constraint you put. And it uses weird, the status is violated, it did not meet the constraint. How much was the slack? It's like, is there slack? There's no slack. In fact, you're off by 5 hours, right? Because we said that given 150, 150, you still need 105, and you set it at 100. That's what that -5 means. So that makes sense.